Bardown Beauties with Jessi and Kirsten Krull. Two hockey minds trapped in bodies that can't skate. They may have never laced them up, but they'll break it all down with sharp takes and plenty of laughs. This is Hockey Talk, the Beauties way.
What's going on, everybody? Bardown Beauties, episode 292. Jessi Pierce, Kirsten Krull in full hockey swing. Minnesota Wild in action a ton this week. You've got back-to-backs. You've got a week and a half of travel. Kirsten, it feels good, though. It just feels right.
It does. I mean, it feels like hockey is back now. I mean, because it is back.
Because it is back.
Sorry,
I'm loving the new...
For a second, I realized that was so... underwhelming, my response. I just heard a ding and I was like, did my mic become unplugged? And I got very self-conscious for a second. So as I was talking, I was listening and not than what I gave you.
I mean, I guess that's an explanation. This is true. I've seen you in-game. I'm loving the new in-game stuff. I love that you move around. In case you guys haven't been, excuse me, if you have not been there or did not make it to the opener on Saturday, I like the new vibe. I like the new video intro. It goes so hard. Obsessed.
I said to Ryan Goss, shout out to him because he makes those intro videos every year. He's done it for at least what I can remember the last 3 years. I stopped him and I was like, I need to let you know, this is the sickest, best one you have done yet.
I agree. There's just something about it. It's just, you guys can check out my Twitter at Jessi_Pierce. Small thing there, shameless plug. I couldn't think of the words for that, but I think it's so good. It does. It makes me want to run through a wall. And maybe it's because it feels so different than the past few years that I was just excited because it just has this, I don't know, this vibe about it. I'm obsessed.
And it's just intense. Yeah. We needed that.
Next level indeed. You know what? Talking and speaking of next level, Kirsten, as we just found out today, Marcus Johansson, and I don't mean next level of play, I mean next level as far as lineups go. He is on the second line alongside Joel Eriksson and Vladimir Tarasenko. I'm going to say this audibly. I am frustrated. I don't understand. I cannot understand watching him during Saturday's opener. Again, I don't want to harp too much on Saturday. It's a second game, still early in the season. But I don't know what more we really need to see. We've seen what we are going to get from Marcus Johansson. We have seen. And we've seen it as meh. Again, I'm mad. The thing is that's frustrating to me about JoJo too, Kirsten, is he can move. He gets the puck down the ice and he's like, well, what do we do now? What are we going to do? I mean, I think that he had to have had at least 4 turnovers on Saturday. I'd pull up the actual stat, but it felt like an enormous amount. And one of them leading to a direct goal. The other times, just bad play. And I don't see how that performance now gives him the opportunity to be on the second line.
I would rather see our young guys make those kinds of mistakes because that means they're getting an opportunity over a man we signed to a 1-year league minimum contract. I'm sorry. You're playing a league minimum player on the second line.
As we discussed last week, Foligno up there felt a little odd, right? Foligno, in my opinion, isn't necessarily a top 6 forward either.
Makes more sense than Marcus Johansson.
Because Foligno seems to be going. I hate to say, you guys know this, if you've been a longtime listener, I hate suggesting that a player is not working hard. I really do, because I find that to be very, very insulting. But there is something... And I don't think it's necessarily he's not working hard, but I feel like Marcus Johansson is almost too okay, just too chill. Too chill when it comes to moving the puck, passing the puck. Just do something. This isn't I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to figure this out. And he's a top 6 forward again.
Can't say I'm surprised. I've feared this would happen. It is not something that shocks me. Nothing shocks me anymore. This is why I'm a pessimist, because...
I mean, fair, I guess. Do you think that this is something that sticks? Again, and this kind of
probably because nothing surprises me anymore.
I mean, you are going to miss Matt Zuccarello and even Nico Sturm much earlier than I think we anticipated, right? For an update, Matt Zuccarello skating on his own has not changed the timeline at all. Still at least, 5 weeks out, I think. Nico Sturm, don't believe has been doing anything as of yet. But the fact is, you're going to miss those guys. That absence is going to become very, very obvious throughout these games because they're jamming in all these games before the Olympic break. And I think this weekend for sure, you're going to be like, man, I really wish Mats was back in this lineup.
Well, I mean, for me, it's not even this weekend, and I already miss Nico Sturm.
So bad. Oh my gosh, faceoffs were so bad. 38% won on Saturday. And I don't know that that's going to get any better. I think there was one stretch where they lost 8 straight faceoffs. Nico Sturm, yeah, he was that guy, right? Like that was the role he was supposed to be playing. And it doesn't appear you have anybody else. Jule Eriksson Ek said to us post game, like, yeah, we need to figure it out. The biggest problem with faceoffs too is, and I'm going to give them a little grace on the PK, but you need to figure out how to win those in your defensive zone and dump it out. Like that's all you have to do. There's a lot. There's still some tweaking. There's those details. But what's your first impression now of the Wild? We're 2 games in, heading into a big week this week. What do you think of the squad so far?
Sorry, I needed to take a pause just to process because opening night against St. Louis, everyone was excited. Everyone was like, what a strong showing first game. You get a 5-0 shutout. Then you go into home and have the game that you did against Columbus, which the best way I can put it is just sloppy. It was sloppy play. You didn't look like you were ready, which also now raises the concerns. Are we going to have history repeat itself where we're at home?
I don't understand that either. And now, granted, in most situations, a team that scores 4 power play goals and puts like 52 shots on net, odds are you're winning that game. Like that's a very rare stat. But then again, 38% faceoff wins. And Columbus people shouldn't sleep on them, right? I actually said that in the breakdown of the St. Louis game, that game was not indicative of who the Minnesota Wild are. You got Jordan Binnington struggling, and St. Louis just looked bad, right? Like they didn't look good. Like 5-0, yes, that's a good win. It's not a statement win by any stretch of the imagination. Like there were still a lot of inconsistencies there. And this week you are heading into, again, 2 back-to-backs. You've got the Dallas Stars on the road. You've got Washington on the road. You've got Philly on the road. You can't be making all these mistakes. Again, your teams, they're still feeling it out, right? Like I do give them a little bit of that. They're still feeling it out. I'm not worried about the team, but I'm not thrilled with the team either.
You piqued my interest when you said don't sleep on Columbus, and I need to hold you accountable because I said do not sleep on them in the East. I said playoffs. You mentioned Montreal.
I love me some Montreal.
And I said if you even watched, which I shouldn't say that. I'm not saying that you didn't see it, but I was like, when you look back to last season at the playoffs when it was Columbus, or not even, sorry, I'm talking too fast for my mind to catch up.
You're so excited and passionate about this.
Into the playoffs, it was down to 3 games for Columbus. And it came down to like Montreal, Columbus for that wild card spot. And Columbus almost had it. And I said, don't sleep on them. And I feel like you just disagreed with me because you're like, yeah, Montreal. And now you're saying don't sleep on Columbus.
I don't think I ever disagree. Columbus, for whatever reason in my mind, they're similar to Ottawa. Those 2 teams in the East, I just overlook all the time. There's nothing in particular. It's not that I think they're bad. I just forget about them. Like they're just kind of always there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever think, like, to be fair, Columbus in their entire 25-year existence has done one great thing, and that was sweep a really, really good Tampa Bay Lightning squad, right? Like, they haven't done a heck of a whole lot. And I think I'm so stuck in that mindset sometimes that I forget about them. Like, it's not that I think they're bad. I just am like, oh, yeah, that team is there. They've got, I think their backup goalie, Jet Greaves, is even better than Elvis. But I think you have Dino in the right position. I know you have some good friends in there with Adam Fantilli and some younger guys, certainly. So I wouldn't say, I don't want to say sleep. I just think going into Saturday, I reminded people, I'm like, Columbus is better than St. Louis. Like, that's going to be for sure, right? Like, there was just no reason to assume like I usually do. So you're right. I wouldn't say I've ever thought low. I just don't think of them, which is probably worse.
I keep receipts and I take notes, and I'm here to hold you accountable and remind you with a smile on my face.
I don't think of them. That could change this year. That could change.
I think about them a lot. I think about
probably Columbus too much. Like some might argue you think about Columbus too much. Like
I do.
It's weird.
I wouldn't say it's weird, but I think about them a lot.
It's weird.
It's not weird.
It's not Columbus. Like nobody thinks about Columbus. It's not weird. It's wild.
Maybe I'm gonna move to Columbus.
I don't think anybody. Although and speaking
in a past life.
Speaking with Charlie Coyle when they were in town, because I forgot Charlie Coyle played for the Columbus Blue Jackets until he came up and said hi. Yeah, he plays for them, but he was saying he really likes Columbus. He's like, actually, it's kind of like a hidden gem. They have like this foodie section of it, and he's like, downtown's kind of fun, and then you get the college with Ohio State as well rolling. So I don't know. He said he doesn't hate it. I mean, it's no Boston or Minnesota, obviously.
I've heard Columbus is fun.
Should we check it out? Like now I
Yeah,
feel
we
like this
should.
is
I want to go to
lending.
Columbus.
This is lending itself. That's again a city that I never imagined I'd be like, let me go to Columbus and watch
I
a
want to go
hockey
to
game.
Columbus, Ohio.
I do want to experience the cannon.
Oh yeah, that's
I heard
fun.
that's pretty good. But we digress. This is a Minnesota Wild podcast, not a Columbus Blue Jackets podcast, in case you forgot.
I'll tie it back. We're both celebrating our 25th anniversary.
Both celebrating the 25th. Exactly. I got to talk to Jacques Lemaire, which was a highlight of my life. Like I always told you, I love old time hockey. Like everything about past hockey, it just excites me. What a guy. What a gem that man is. Like he still got it. We asked him what it would be like to coach in today's day and age where, as we all know, Jacques is a defensive first man, doesn't care for the offense. He said it'd be very hard. He said he doesn't think he would do very well in today's NHL.
I respect a man, though, that puts defense first.
I mean, he made the league change the rules because of his version of the trap. Like he was one of a kind. That's for damn sure. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love it.
Have we vented enough about Johansson? I can't decide.
I mean, what else is there to say?
I just don't get it.
The exact same thing.
Like I wish, because I know if I pose the question to John Hines about like why are we moving him up in the line? Because I'll admit I'm too chicken shit to like ever probably do it, right? Because when you ask those type of questions, the coach knows that you aren't agreeing with what they've decided, right? Like I just feel like that's very telling as to.
You have no problem asking Bill these questions.
Well, Billy and I have a special relationship, or at least I think so. He loves to give it to me and I'll give it right back to him once in a while. Usually I think of a better comeback after we're done speaking, unfortunately, but I don't know. I want to know why. Like what are we seeing? Like what warrants him being in that position? Like why do we keep giving him these opportunities? Why are we not giving a Liam Ogren that opportunity? Why are we not? Because again, not that Ogren has blown me away and he only played, I think, again, 5 minutes the other night on the fourth line. Marcus Johansson hasn't done anything to blow me away either. Like, I don't understand what the discrepancy is. What's the difference? Like, I need to know because I don't understand it. I just want to understand, like I'm a learner of the game. I talked face-offs with Heinze today. Like, hey, so what needs to change? And am I over exemplifying the importance of these face-offs, which probably sounds like a stupid question, but sometimes it's true, right? Am I focused too much on this? And he's like, no, I mean, face-offs can determine obviously the outcome. Like if you win all your face-offs, you should win the game, but that's not always the case and blah, blah, blah. But I just need to know why.
The only thing I can think of is that veteran presence. Only thing I can think of.
You have enough, though. I mean, you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the easy answer. Well, he's been there before. He knows how to do it.
Nothing else makes sense. There's no other reason.
It's so frustrating. It's
like
just
to me,
so frustrating.
it's like, why would you rather have a player who is on a 1-year league minimum contract who might not even be in a Wild sweater come trade deadline I'm just throwing that out there. I have no reason to believe that. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right.
You have no idea if he's even going to last a full season in Minnesota, let alone if he's going to be on the team next year even. So it's like, why do you have a guy given that opportunity instead of a younger player who can make those mistakes? Like I don't see the difference.
Marcus Johansson had one shot in 18 shifts in 16 minutes and 26 seconds. Liam Ogren had one shot in 7 shifts in 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Like comparables, like technically you would say that's a better odds for Ogren because he did more with his limited ice time than Marcus Johansson. Like it's beyond.
Well, also,
I haven't heard.
Ogren is not meant to be a player that plays bottom 6. He's not.
No, I don't get it. Although I haven't heard you mention that this is a contract year for Marcus Johansson, technically.
Because it's the second game of the season. He doesn't need, he doesn't need to show up until later still. That's when the contract year kicks in, when it's fresh in people's minds.
This is true. This is very, very true. Interestingly enough,
I keep playing with my dog's squeaker that he ripped out of one of his toys. So that's me just fidgeting. Sorry, y'all.
That's fine. I hadn't heard it. Now you mention it. Danila Yurov making his debut tonight. I have to give a shout out to Kirill Kaprizov because not only do I just adore this man, speaking of, there is a giant poster outside the window on the entrance of Grand Casino now starting tonight as well. Like if you've ever questioned the importance of this man, it is full display at Gate 1. It looks great. It's just Kaprizov, like nobody else Kaprizov. And
well, he's the highest paid player in the entire National Hockey League.
I mean, it's fair. But so Danila, who we've spoken with a little bit, and his English isn't terrible. Like he gives it a go. He's never had a translator like Kirill had a translator on the phone, or sometimes in person. Danila hasn't had that. And I'm sure the team would make that accommodation if he ever asked for it, but he hasn't. And so today we'd go and talk to Danila about his debut, and, Kirill relays the question to him. And I think Danila took that as, oh, I can do it in Russian and Kirill's going to translate. So Danila looks at all of us and responds in Russian, and Kirill's face is like, no, English. You talk in English. And Danila just kept going in Russian. And so then Kirill, translated for him, and it was just kind of funny. And so then Danila did the rest of it, responding in English, but getting clarification from Kirill. And I don't know. I thought it was a really cool.
Kirill's like a big brother now.
It was kind of a cool moment. Like and when we all get there, of course, Kirill's like, no, he doesn't speak English. Just tell them that he doesn't speak English. And I was like, yep, that is the trick. But it was a cool moment. Like Kirill was like, no, talk to them in English, because Kirill's not going to want to be that role for the entire season. And again, Danila did a good job. He did admit that he's a little nervous, right? Like this is going to be a different situation than all the games that he played in the KHL. What are your expectations? Again, he's centering the fourth line. Faceoffs up and down the lineup have not been good. I've not been overly impressed with Danila's faceoff presence. He's working on it. I do see him working on it every practice. Like it's something that he's constantly focused on. And again, Bill Guerin has told us they see him as a centerman. I still would rather see him debut as a wing, but what are your expectations for Mr. Yurov?
My expectations for him, and this is giving him grace too. I think he's going to start off slow. I think it'll probably, I say this because there's been so much hype and excitement surrounding him. Like we have this idea of the player he's supposed to be. I don't think it's going to happen as quick as people want it to, because it's just going to take him a minute to get adjusted. But I think he'll make that adjustment maybe like in like November. We'll start to see that a little later on. And when he clicks, I think he's going to get it. And I'm excited, and I'm still hopeful for him. I just think it's going to take a little bit longer than Wild fans would like. Because as a fan base, we don't believe in delayed gratification, and we all want the instantaneous.
We just don't get either very often.
We don't.
It's a constant problem and a constant struggle. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they've been doing a really good job working with him and trying to acclimate him to the NHL versus the KHL. And I think tonight will be very, very telling as to how that looks. It's going to be his first kind of taste aside from the preseason, which is going to be great. And what a good game to do it against. LA is very defensively stout, so he's going to really have to penetrate that offense, in the minimal time that he'll see from the fourth line. But I'm excited to see what he can do. David Jiricek, we've talked about him, and I'm so tired of talking about it, but I feel like we need to. I need to remind myself that he is very young as well, though, right? Like I think he's 20. He's only 21 too, I believe, right?
Somewhere in that ballpark.
21. So David Jiricek is also only 21. So the same amount of grace I keep giving Danila Yurov for his transition, I need to remember to give to David Jiricek as well, because they're the same age, similar position. But the reason I bring him up again, he's scratched, but Alex Goligoski was sitting with him in the press box the other night. And I just think that's going to speak volumes as Goose, knows his defense. He's part of the team now as in a player development standpoint. But I have to imagine even just making sure Jiricek is okay with the press box presence right now. Like, I think that still continues to be his struggle. When do you think we finally see Jiricek in the lineup, though? I have to imagine at some point, right? Because again, it goes to veteran status where Bogosian's playing over Jiricek now that Jonas Brodin is back. But with the amount of games, it would be nice to get him in here this week.
Yeah, it would be. Here's the thing, because you don't want a player like Jiricek to just be sitting in the box for that long of a span consistently. If you know you're not going to play him, send him down to Iowa to at least just keep him in shape, keep him moving. But also too, like even having Jonas Brodin back when he was for home opener, like I didn't think anyone expected him to be back that soon based on earlier reports.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think sooner than later, but also too, you never know, injury wise, health wise, especially with our little defense. Like, I worry.
Let's get into that, shall we? The defense. So if I'm dating the Minnesota Wild, right, which basically we are, we're in a very tumultuous relationship with the Minnesota Wild as we cover them and as we're fans, everybody, we're all dating them.
We're committed.
We're very committed to them. You know, sometimes I doubt sometimes you go and see others like the Columbus Blue Jackets. For me, that's maybe sometimes the Dallas Stars or the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know.
That's
got
cheating.
some side pieces.
No, that's not even dabbling. That's cheating, and that's wrong.
So they have to, if they're in our conference,
Blue Jackets, it's like I'm like batting my eyes across the bar and being like, "Hey, but I'm gonna go back home to where I belong. I'm not gonna act out. I'm not gonna do anything I'm not supposed to. But yeah, I'll bat an eyelash to the Columbus Blue Jackets. But Minnesota, I'm coming home to you."
I'm always looking for what's better. I'm always keeping an eye out.
And Dallas is better. They're in the midst of their downfall, and I've prayed for it.
That window's closing. I'll admit it. It's closing. But that being said, if we're dating the Minnesota Wild, I'd say my number one red flag to not be in that relationship anymore is faceoffs. Number two, shockingly enough, has become the defense. Like again, 3 games in now, or soon to be 3 games. I'm not sounding alarms, but I'm very surprised at how poorly the defense has been through these 2 games, right? Not only the 7 goals allowed, but even in St. Louis, like there were some huge mistakes made up and down the lineup. And even the more noticeable one, like Z Bouillon, again, gets the grace. He's a rookie. He's learning. He will make some egregious defensive turnovers
and we've started to see his offensive prow too. First NHL goal against Columbus.
For sure. And I think sometimes he gets too caught up in the offensive end that he forgets about the defensive aspect, which has also been the knock on Juracek, right? Like he gets so excited to jump into the play, push it in the offensive zone that he forgets the other side of the hockey game. But the one that's surprising me the most, and because we talked a little bit about how hard he was on himself in the offseason, is Brock Faber. Like he looks a step off again this year. And granted, it's, another transitional season for him where he's trying to probably find that balance of playing 27 minutes a night to maybe taking that down a little bit. But what do you make of Faber defensively so far, and even just in general, the Wild's defense as a whole? Are you surprised that they're at where they're at, considering the depth too? Because you have Spurgeon, now you got Brodin back. Jake Middleton is now down as a 3rd pair, which is surprising. We haven't seen that in a while, as this team's fully healthy. But defense concerning you a little bit too?
Not as much yet. It'll concern me if this carries on into like late October, but I don't think it will. I think there's just like a little bit of adjustment period going on. But yeah, especially just Brock Faber too doesn't worry me. Like maybe just a couple games in, everyone's still getting their feet back under him. I think it'll just take a minute, but I think the defense will be fine. I just worry about the health of our players on the defense. That's it. But I think they'll find their groove sooner than later.
Yeah, like, and I'm not saying like, oh no, Brock, this is his downfall. Like he's still one of the best defensemen, and it's going to be one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. It just seems there's a couple, again, going back to Saturday, not that I'm focusing and harping, but that's recency bias, right? Mm-hmm. There were just a couple mistakes that I was like, that seems very uncharacteristic. Like the mistakes
I think it just comes back to Brock has been on such a pedestal, deservingly so. Like he's earned it. He's earned the praise that I think when he steps out of that or does make a mistake, we're like, that's not Brock, just because he has been so solid for such a long time.
Yeah. Then you're probably right. Like that's probably the bulk of it is I'm used to the one side, the one era of Brock Faber that I'm just kind of like, oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Goaltending. How are we feeling about goaltending? Gus Bus. Speaking of Gus Bus, before we get into that, don't forget Soda Stick and the Hockey Lodge collaborated. You can go grab your Gus Bus shirt at the Hockey Lodge at Grand Casino Arena. Check out all the other merch, sodastick.com, Bardown Beauties for 15% off. We love them. Gus, looking solid. Couple fluky goals Saturday again, being a weird game. I'm excited to see Jesper Wallstedt tonight, though.
I'm also excited to see the Wall of St. Paul. Like, let's have a strong showing tonight coming off of the loss to Columbus. Let's get that energy back in the building. No, I'm very excited. Gus, too, deserved the contract. Happy to see him. I think he's also embraced his role with the team. And also, too, you talk about, like, fluky goals. Granted, I was running up and down the concourse all night, so I didn't get to watch as closely. So maybe there's things that I missed. Feel free to let me know. But even some of the goals that did get let in, they didn't seem as fluky to me as we've seen before. Like I think a lot more of that comes down to just broken plays, turnovers, a little bit on the defense more than anything on Gus.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Saturday's game again just seemed fluky all around. It was hard to get any momentum going either way. 7-4, I had to type out 11 goals. You know how hard it is to describe 11 goals in different manners? Like, especially when 4 of them are on the power play. Like, it just seemed beyond ridiculous. But here we are. Yeah, I'm excited to see Jesper. I think I like that he's getting tonight's game. It was a tough balance. I was talking about this with Kevin Gorg and Alex Stalock this morning too. It's a back-to-back, right? You want your number one goaltender, Philip Gustafsson, to kind of get some of that mojo back after allowing 7 goals. Granted, those weren't all on him. It's nothing to hang his head on, and he doesn't seem like a guy that's too worried about it. But part of you wants that. Part of you wants to get the easier of the 2 wins. I think the LA is going to be very tough, but on paper between them and Dallas, you feel like that's probably your better chance at winning. So you want to get the team feeling good heading into Dallas. You don't want to come off a loss and put your other goalie in. But also Jesper has... If I were, see, this is why I can never be a goaltender. This is probably why I'm so harsh on them. I get 2 in the old noggin here. If I'm Jesper Wallstedt, all I think about is the last time I was in Dallas and the last time I just got shelled, and I just wouldn't be able to like go in there. I'd be terrified. Like with as porous as the Minnesota Wild defense is tending to be so far, and you're going up against the Dallas Stars and their potent offense, I would not be looking forward to that if I was Jesper. It would just be too much of a mind F.
I agree with that, but also, too, that is why I'm not a goaltender, let alone goaltender in the National Hockey League. I think he's had the time. I think he's done what he's needed to. But also, too, I would flip the script and be like, can't be any worse than I was that night.
I know.
So can only go up.
I love it. Let's wrap up this week's episode with a couple buy or sell ideas. My first one, buy or sell Kirsten, the idea that the Minnesota Wilds will retire Zach Parise or Ryan Suter's number. One of the two, just buying or selling the idea.
No, I'm selling it. That's not going to happen. You're not going to retire a player's number that you bought out of a contract. Like, you're not going to. Also, stop retiring jersey numbers. Stop doing it. Like, it's dumb. I hate it. Stop. Do a Ring of Honor. But even then, I think it's very debatable. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think you lose the opportunity or the case to be made. They did a lot of great things here in Minnesota, but I think your legacy just kind of, in my opinion, seems tainted when you were bought out of your contract early.
But I think you also can't erase what they did establish, right? They were the first big contracts. They were...
but just being the first big contracts doesn't do it for me.
But not necessarily the first big contracts, but the first big names. Like, that was a huge decision for those 2 top free agents to choose Minnesota, of all places, right? Like, that was incredible. And they had put themselves in their own position for the Wild history record books, too. Like, Ryan Suter is up there. Zach Parise is up there. Funny note about Suits, though. I forgot that he's not with the St. Louis Blues, but they have another Suter on that team. So I was so confused in that season opener. I was like, wait, no, that's a different Suter? Like, what are the odds? Like, Ryan Suter's technically still a free agent. I could see them retiring Zach Parise's number.
Maybe. 11. I don't know. It's hard for me. I just think their legacy has been tainted a little bit.
It has. It goes with an asterisk, right? But you still have the number 1 retired.
But also, I think Wild fans still have a distaste for those names because of the constraints it caused.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair or not, I just think that's the case. But also, last note, stop retiring numbers. Stop it.
I mean, we've said that long and away. There's not enough success for the Minnesota Wild to have a player's number retired. Like, that's just bottom line, right?
Like Mikko Koivu, okay, fine.
But that's still not my biggest argument, and I'll keep it brief. Unless you were going into the Hockey Hall of Fame, you do not deserve to have your number retired. So certainly you have players in Boston, like Zdeno Chara getting his number retired. Absolutely. Like, you have players in place in certain markets and certain teams that make sense. Minnesota doesn't have any of that. Marc-Andre Fleury is your Hall of Famer, but he's not going to have his number retired here, right? Like, it just...
Ring of Honor would be fantastic.
A Ring of Honor makes the most sense. 100%. Mikko Koivu was important to the franchise, but the franchise only, not to hockey as a whole and whatever. That's my take on it. Do you buy or sell the idea that Brock Faber will lead the team in ice time and points among defensemen this year?
Buy. No notes.
No notes?
No, it's just we stand Brock Faber in this house.
We do, and I big fan of Faber. I was not meaning to suggest otherwise, but
I didn't get that from you. I think you just got a little nervous.
I'm just questioning. I'm a little nervous. I'm just questioning it. Again, like I was in that conversation I had with him in August for a USA Hockey story, which is out now, by the way, usahockeymagazine.com. I was surprised to see how critical he was of himself, because while I think he did have an off year, I didn't think he was that bad. Certainly not over a concerning level, but he was so hard. And so I was like, oh, he's really going to bounce back. And so to see some of those mistakes still shine through, because now he's not a rookie. You know what I mean? Like now he's next step level. So very interesting. And then final buy or sell for this week's episode, the NHL should bring back the glow puck. Buy or sell.
The glow puck.
Oh, you're I don't even know that you were born. So back in the 90s,
no.
I think they had a puck in an effort to like educate hockey fans and to like make it hockey a little bit easier. They had a puck that glowed, and so you could see it better on the TV screen. Google glow puck. But you're
sell. I hate it. They went away for a reason. Sell.
I don't know. I kind of think buy. Bring it back. Bring it back. Give it a shot. I could see ESPN giving it a go. Maybe.
No.
Possibly.
No.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week on Bardown Beauties. Don't forget to check out all of our other Score North content. We love us some Score North. Don't forget to check out sodastick.com. If you're interested in advertising with us, reach out to us. Let us know. Score North, they've been awesome. You guys are awesome. Rate, subscribe, like. Love y'all. Big week this week. Beauties, previews, and breakdowns coming through. Until then, go wild. I cannot